Well, hello, folks. I'm DK Byrne, and I'm lucky to be here today with Bernadette Soares. And Bernadette is the founder and managing director of Phâro Sugaring. Welcome, Bernadette.
Thank you so much.
Now, Bernadette, I understand you've been in this line of business for a good while, and you have a very interesting story about the background of this amazing product and this wonderful business. And I'm sure people who are tuning in will love to hear that. So make sure you stay till the end. But firstly, you've mentioned that you've noticed that there's some major mistakes, three big ones, that salon and spa owners make when it comes to choosing the products that they're going to use and recommend, I imagine, in their businesses. Is that right?
That's right, yeah, because it's a salon. There are so many different products and services they can offer, and obviously every salon cannot offer every product and every service that's available. So I think they make a few mistakes, which I've noticed, and which actually a lot of it is the information I've got back from my own customers. Many of them have been with me right from the beginning, from 2009, when we launched Phâro. So I've learned a lot from my customers that are highly successful. So they mainly, did you want me to talk more about that now? Or?
Well, I understood that the first big mistake you've noticed is that they look at short-term gain as compared to, more about customer retention. Would that be right?
Yeah, and I think that's the pressure of the salon business, because obviously when you set up a salon, or even if you're running a salon, you do want that gain quickly, rather than sometimes stopping in your business and thinking about what would really be good for my business long term. So quite often the short-term gain is to let me take on what everyone else has. And for instance, for our product, wax sugaring is a new product to the market, in a sense of, only 15 years old, but wax has been used for, decades. So they want to use what their competitors have. And that can be just a short-term game, rather than looking at why can I not take on a new product, an effective product, something that's trending, something that's new to the market.
Yes, and as you say, it's understandable because these are tough times. Everyone in business is finding it difficult, but of course that's a good reason to make sure that we're not just thinking about short-term decisions, but we're thinking about the longer term. And the second one you've mentioned is that they focus on price without realizing the overall cost to the salon. So they're not really seeing it as an investment and that type of thing. Would that be right?
Yeah. So sugaring price for price, like comparing it with wax, it's actually probably cheaper actually, but we have to look at the overall service. So for instance, there's the product, there's the time it takes, and then there's the cleanup process. So with waxing, that's really important to look at those three aspects to it. So when you compare the price of the product, the time it takes to do the treatment, and the cleanup process, sugaring hands down is much cheaper than wax. So that's what salons need to know, that even though the price for the product might appear to be more expensive, but you need just water to clean it down. You don't need expensive turpentine-based solutions to clean it down. You don't need turpentine-based solutions to clean it off your customer's skin. You can just use our after spray, which is water-based, and use just water to clean down all your equipment. So sugaring is definitely a lot cheaper than wax, but people focus on the price of wax and they think that's cheaper. They don't consider how long they take to clean up. They don't take how long it takes, consider how long it takes to clean up the client's skin. And of course, the effects of all that as well.
Yes, well, that's very interesting. And it really brings us into big mistake number 3 that you've identified, which you've said is that the salon owners and the spa owners are focusing often on more costly treatments as compared to these cheaper treatments. And as you say, cheaper because it's much easier to clean up and all that type of thing. But that offers a much higher volume, which is really the bread and butter of the business, and can allow customers to say, well, I can come back, every few weeks rather than leaving it longer. Is that correct?
That's right, yeah. So as you know, in the last, I'd say 5, 6, 7, 8 years, there are these big ticket items that are coming to do with facial treatments like Botox. And, I actually, to be honest, don't know many of them. I'm more of a natural girl that loves my natural products. And my theory is not to put anything under my skin. So, but there are these expensive products that have come in, which could be $2,000, $3,000 each. But there are treatments that you do every once in 3-4 months, every 6 months, or even once a year. Now that can be great for the salon because they have this, big input of cash coming in, but they tend to you forget that you need to focus on regular treatments. So with sugaring, clients come in every 4 weeks. So every 4 weeks you're getting that injection of it. So sugaring is looked at as the bread and butter of a business. So if you can build that base of just clients that come in every 4 weeks, then on top of that, you build your, more expensive treatments.
Well, it's very interesting, Bernadette. And I would imagine, and of course, I'm absolutely no expert, but you are, but I would imagine there'd be more and more people concerned about the long-term effects of chemical treatments and invasive treatments and be looking for more natural alternatives. I know that my partner who loves to go to spas and salons, she's certainly looking at more natural products. Would that be a trend that's increasing, you would say, in organics and things of that nature?
Oh, totally. When we launched in 2009, it was still pretty new, that whole aspect of, being eco-friendly, great for the environment, great for the skin. But our product is water soluble. I can't think of anything that can be more friendlier for the environment because many of the waste of salons can be pretty bad for the environment. It can be terribly bad for the client's skin. Whereas with sugaring, it's made with natural ingredients. Our main ingredients are kiwi fruit, aloe vera, sugar, water. So it's, extremely good for the skin. So definitely more and more clients have come on board and are, excited about it. And because of the, the effect on their skin and on the environment.
But when you say, there's some pretty basic natural ingredients, I can't just go and get my kiwi fruit and my aloe vera and whip some up in the kitchen, can I? I understand that it's got a very tricky and long-held family tradition. Would that be right?
That's right. Yeah, it was actually my mother-in-law's recipe. And just to give quickly a bit of a background, sugaring is a well-known treatment in the Middle East, in places like India, where we actually have never put a razor to our skin. Women, I should clarify that women have never put razors and never put razors to their skin. They definitely don't shave. And we never use wax as well. We always had sugaring products. So this formulation was my mother-in-law's recipe. And when I left India in 1989, I came to New Zealand with the formula. And I used the product. I made the product in its very basic form, so not as beautiful and as great as it smells today, but in a very basic form. I made it for my friends and family. So the product has been launched in '89 rather than in 2009. But I was just, using it for my friends and family who enjoyed it, gave me such positive feedback, and were always saying to me, "Oh my gosh, you've got to sell this one day. You've got to sell it one day." But I had far more important things to do until in 2009, I realized, oh my gosh, I'm really sitting on something that the market absolutely needs. Probably it was a better place as well. Sometimes you can be well and truly too early to launch something on the market. So 2009 was where people were probably looking more for organic products, natural products. And within Phâro, we have two products, marine gel and Manuka honey gel, that are natural. And then we've launched also, I think 1 or 2 years later, we launched our organic formulation, which is made with organic sugar and rose water. Rather than water, we've actually used rose water.
Well, I think that's also very important. It's not a fly-by-night product, and it's not a fly-by-night business. The product has been around for a long time with a very tried and true tradition, and proves that it works. And also, you've been in business now for with this particular product for 15 years. Is that right?
That's right. Yeah. I've been in business before that, but but this was an extension to the 3 other brands that we already carry in business. So this was our last of our 4 brands that we've launched in hair removal. So so I have a lot of experience as well in it. So really understand the market, really understand customers' needs. I came from a marketing and branding background as well. So I really launched a product with the customer in mind, because at the end of the day, a customer, no matter how great your product is, how great it smells, how great it looks, the customer needs an effective product, and it needs to do what it says it's going to do and even exceed those expectations. And if you can do that with a product, you certainly have a winner.
Well, to me, it sounds like the product itself is a secret recipe, but you've also said that you really have another secret, something that is unique about what you do. What would that be?
So we have the secret for salons that will make customers come back again and again. That's what a salon needs. The salon doesn't need someone that comes in and then they don't see the customer again. So we believe with our product, we have a secret that makes customers come back again and again.
Yes, and I heard a statistic the other day. I think it was from 80% to 8 times more likely a current customer to buy from you again than getting a new customer. So, of course, that's just so important. Now, you also have a hook related to your product, and what would that be?
So the hook is increasing a salon's profit with the smallest of investments ever. So many brands I know, skincare brands, and all these big expensive machines the salon have, they have to pour in thousands of dollars, sometimes even up to $30,000. I know some of the machines cost, and some of them even more. With Phâro, we have our hook is that we can show you how you can make profits with the smallest investment ever. We have a trial pack for $60, and for $60 investment, you can actually try the product and get started.
Yes, well, I would imagine it's a no-brainer. I mean, most women, I think, hearing about this who are going to a salon who are interested in hair removal would be crazy if they didn't try it. Would you say that that's the truth?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think so because we are dependent on our salons educating their customers. So a lot of people actually come directly sometimes to us. So we have to actually direct them back to the salon. So that's the other good thing that we do. We understand that a salon's end game is to actually get more clients. And so we have a great product, an effective product that will keep customers coming back again and again. But we also do a lot of marketing directly to their clients to aid the salon. So I can't see how you can lose out on that if we are actually doing marketing for you to actually get people through the door with an amazing product. Like literally, that is, you've got everything there, right there and there.
Well, Bernadette, it is sounding more and more like an absolute no-brainer for salon and spa owners. Now, I'm just interested to know just a little bit more about your background. That's such a fascinating story with the natural aspect of the product and the tradition, coming from India and your family tradition and, you having been in the business for so long and being such an expert, but also your background in sales and marketing. I think that's very interesting too. Could you tell us a bit more about that?
So I studied in India. I did my degree in India and, a business degree, a commerce degree. And then I came to New Zealand in 89. And then I worked for a few years. And then I stayed at home for 12 full years to look after my kids. It was really important to us coming from my tradition and my family values that I stayed at home to look after my kids and not put them in daycare. For my husband and myself, we both had the same sort of values. So I gave up my career to look at my kids for 12 years. And while I was at home, I got a little bit bored. And so to challenge myself, I went back to do part-time. I finished my master's in business. That's where I specialize in the branding and marketing aspect of things. I've always been keen on the marketing, sales, branding. So I finished my master's in business. It took me about 4 years rather than 18 months, but that was cool because I was at home for 12 years. And then when I was looking at going back to work, I realized how difficult it was to go back to work because, when you're at home for 12 years, you've kind of been out of the market. Things have moved, things have changed. However, I wanted to say to employers, oh my gosh, like I've done the best thing ever. If I could successfully look after 3 children and manage them and bring up 3 great kids, because at this stage they were like 3, 7 and 8 or 9. So they were great kids I had, and I wanted to say to them, if I could do it and bring up 3 great kids, I'm actually going to be a great employee. Anyway, lo and behold, that was not to be. So then I realized what I had in my hand was a formula which I've been using and making for friends. So I cooked up some batches and decided I'll do my own marketing research and get some feedback. And so the feedback that I got was just excellent. And I think that's what propelled me to drop the job, forget about going back and working for someone, and to take the plunge and get into business myself with this product.
Well, I think it sounds like a lucky break that no one that you didn't get a job. You could have been stuck in the corporate world, and I understand that you've been very successful. You've got this product in salons and spas all over Australia and New Zealand, and
Yes,
about to
yeah.
launch internationally beyond that.
Yes, so we already have we have salons in New Zealand, Australia. I think we have close to over 500 salons in New Zealand, Australia. And we've got salons that buy from us from Canada, as far away from Canada, UK, the US, and we're currently now just working with a US company to look at selling it into the US and Canada.
Well, I would say, as not being in the spa or salon business, but being in business, that's an amazing track record. And you're clearly an entrepreneur to have that many salons and now growing and launching further internationally. And I think as a business person, that's fantastic to hear and important to hear that, as I said, it's not obviously not just a fly by night. You've been through the hard yards and the difficult times, and it's amazing what you've achieved, and I'm sure you're going to achieve so much more with this wonderful product. And as I said, my partner here is very excited to learn about it and get her hands on some. So is there anything else you'd like to share before we head off? Oh, I did have one question. Any woman who, and even men, I suppose, who are interested in hair removal, it's good for everybody. I can't imagine it not working for anyone.
Oh, yeah, that's a great question, because it is good for everyone. It's great for, like women on their facial hair, for instance. They have finer facial hair, like more downy sort of hair on the sides of their face. Amazing for that. So great for fine hair, but also great for coarser hair. So bikini line, eyebrow hair, underarm, Brazilian hair can be a lot coarser. So we have another formulation for that. So we've got two formulations, one for finer hair, one for coarser hair. We've also got a system for removing hair from the legs and arms, where we have a cartridge system. So no one has done it. We are the only company in the world that has changed our formulation from a sugar paste to a gel. So it's a sugar gel in the cartridge system, where you can roll a cartridge on a client's arms. Men, they use it on men on their back. And it's great. It's quick. It's easy cleanup. And just easy for anyone to learn it. So it's not a great technique that you have to learn. It's very close to the waxing technique.
Well, that's interesting, isn't it? Because I know I have a friend who has a very hairy back, and he has to get his partner to shave his back. And I imagine that this would be a lot more enjoyable.
Much more effective.
Yeah. Well,
really effective.
That's the bottom line, isn't it? And as you say, it's not expensive. It's not like some of these very expensive treatments, and it doesn't have the nasty side effects potentially that chemical treatments and invasive treatments could have. So anything you'd like to share before we finish up, Bernadette?
Oh, I'd like to do my own little sales pitch that I do for the product and tell. I mean, as you can see, I'm always excited. It's funny, after all these years, I'm still really excited about it. Because, at the end of the day, everyone, whether it's a salon owner or the client, they need a really effective product. And what's better than having an effective product at a great price? So it is very comparable, probably in many instances cheaper than wax. And it's great for the client's skin, easy cleanup process, and great for the environment. Because if you can imagine the amount of wax that is thrown out worldwide, this is the chemical-based, resin-based wax, which needs to be cleaned off the client's skin with a turpentine. That's what our competitors use. It's thrown into the environment every day. I just want to see a world where we are just throwing off only strips and a sugar-based natural product into the bins and into the refuge areas. That is just breaks down in the soil. It'll break down in the soil within weeks as compared to years. The other thing that we do, which we've done since 2009, we take back the cartridges and the pots. So we actually give our customers 5 cents per cartridge and 10 cents per pot when they return it back to us. Again, I don't think there's any other company that's actually doing that. So what we are trying to do is actually minimize the amount of pots and cartridges, because there are thousands, I mean, hundreds of thousands of cartridges worldwide thrown out every day in salons. So we want to completely minimize that. And because we reuse that, we wash them, because it's a sugar-based product. It's really easy for us to put it through a process where we wash it, sterilize it, and refill them.
Well, it sounds like an absolute no-brainer to me, Bernadette. All of that, and as you mentioned before, you are a sales and marketing expert in this particular niche, and you're working on behalf, really, of the salons and spas.
That's
So
right.
it's a mutually beneficial arrangement, isn't it?
That's right. We come alongside them, because there's no point in in fact, we provide them just about everything. So we provide them all their marketing materials. We have all the salon posters. We have retail stands for them, because retail is another great part of their business as well. So we actually have aftercare products that we retail to them as well. So we provide them like a complete whole. We provide them all the training. So we train every one of their their therapists. So we basically come alongside them. I've got customers, I mean, actually 80% of our customers are with us since 2009, 2010 when we launched. So that is, to me, like the biggest testament to the fact how good the product is, because these are professional salons that face day in and day out, week in and week out, with new products that come on the market. And the fact that I can retain those customers, and they would never change, even think of changing a brand, because of the service they receive from us and the product that they receive from us, is a real testament to the fact. And I think that's what really keeps me excited.
Well, that's exciting for me as a business person, and I'm sure salon owners and spa owners who are listening. Did you say 80% since 2009 are still on board?
Yeah, totally. Yeah, definitely 80% or even more. And the ones that we have lost are not because they've left us for another brand. I literally can't think of anyone that's left us for another brand. It's mainly because they have actually closed down due to various reasons. Obviously, the hard times come by and will take some salons out. But the ones that we have lost have literally gone out of business or changed their careers, because I know quite a few beauty therapists who are still my friends, but they've changed their careers, and they found the beauty industry too hard. It is a very hard business. So that's why we just completely come alongside them. We totally support them, because to be honest, I'd rather be the supplier, be the person that provides them great product. I'd rather be that than be running a salon, because it's such a hard business. So, our hats off to them. They do a great job. They provide a great service. So we can't think of anything better than to come alongside them and support them.
Well, that's wonderful, Bernadette. And I mean, I'm not even in the business, but I'm very interested. My partner is very interested. We're certainly going to get in touch with you. So I'm sure that spa owners and salon owners who are watching will definitely want to get in touch with you. And we have your web address, and that will be in the text around this interview, so people can easily get in touch with you. That's the best way.
Yes.
That's the best way for them to get in touch with you. Terrific.
Yes.
All right. Well, anything more to add, Bernadette, before we sign off?
No, that's all cool. And no, there's nothing else. I think I've said everything. But if people do want to get in touch with us, absolutely. And even if they just want to find out more information, it'll be great. But we do have a trial pack. So we have 2 trial packs now, a bikini trial pack and a Brazilian lot, because Brazilian is quite a big a salon owner as a treatment. And then we have just a sugaring trial pack, so they can come on board with our trial packs, trying our packs.
Well, there we are, folks. So you know what to do. In the text around here, you'll see the website. Get on there, shoot any questions off to Bernadette. As you can tell, she's a lovely person, very astute business person, and in this industry for a long time. And it's been an absolute joy talking with you today, Bernadette. And thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you.